Hey everyone, welcome to my series called Finally Explained Fridays, where I take a complicated mechanic in Minecraft and explain it simply. I've missed a few weeks, so I'm going to come back strong with command blocks. Near the end of this video I'll be explaining the TestFor command, but there are a lot of things you need to know before that. If you feel you already know command blocks, targets and arguments, you can skip to the time shown on the screen. Okay, so let me start off with the basics on command blocks. To get a command block you need to use the give command with the ID of 137. To use a command block on a server, you have to be an operator in creative mode. In single player, you must be in creative mode with cheats on. You can place a command block and right click to type in a command. The commands are identical to the commands you would use in a console, and they begin with a slash. An example of a command would be /give mcunite57. When you send redstone power to the block, it will run that command and give me a diamond block. If you want to see a full list of commands, type /help into the chat. Targets are great if you want to use a command for a specific type of player. Targets are actually listed in the command block interface. @P targets the nearest player, @R targets a random player, and @A targets all players. Targets are always used in the position a player's name would usually be in a command. That means if you want to give every player on a server a diamond block, you can use the command /give @A57. Now we'll start to learn some more complicated commands. To the right of the target, we can add things called arguments. For example, if I want to give a diamond block to everyone in a 3-block radius, then I can add an argument onto the target which allows that. The argument goes inside a set of square brackets and consists of the letter R for radius, an equal sign, and the value, which in this case is 3. There are many different arguments you can add to your commands, such as M, which stands for mode and will only run the command if a player's game mode corresponds with the value given. You can create a comma-separated list of arguments, and the command will only run for all of the people who fit all of those arguments. For example, if I use a command /give @A bracket R equals 4, M equals 0, close bracket, 57. Then the command will give a diamond block to anyone who's in the game mode of survival and is within a 4-block radius. For a full list of arguments, see the description. When you combine a command block and a comparator together, you can see how many people the command has affected. Using the previous example, if I want to see how many people received the diamond block in a radius of 3 blocks in survival mode, then all I need to do is attach a comparator to see how strong a signal strength is. Using the previous example, if I wanted to see how many people received the diamond block and were in a radius of 3 blocks in survival mode, then all I need to do is attach a comparator to see how strong the signal strength is. This can be very useful because you can potentially count the amount of diamond blocks you gave out. Now this is the moment you have been waiting for. The idea of a comparator outputting the amount of times a command was successfully ran is very useful. But what if you wanted to see how many people were in the radius of 3 blocks without having to give them a diamond block each? Well, you can use TestFor. TestFor is a command made for command blocks to be used with comparators. It will simply see how many people will suit the arguments you gave it, and then it will output that in the comparator's signal strength. If you have 4 people within the radius, then it will output 4. If you have 10, then it will output 10. The best part about the TestFor command is that the player doesn't actually know it has been selected by a command block. The player doesn't receive a diamond block or anything else. Now you can easily find a lot of information about players on the server. Just some examples would include things like, how many players are in this room? How many players are in survival mode? How many players have an experience level between 10 and 13? You can even do a question which involves all of these questions. How many players have levels between 10 and 13 and are in survival mode in this room? Well, there you have it. You are now an expert in using the TestFor command. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next Friday where I explain the purpose of your life.